Josie. There's Uncle Mike and Aunt Marie. And down there on the end, that's Mimo and Papa. We'll go back through them again, celebrating 50 years, a great family. You know what's really great is if I focus on Kimberly, I can cut Ivan's head off.
Okay. All right. In a few minutes, they're going to start bringing around champagne and glasses for those of us who are going to do a toast. And just hold on to it because we have a few people that are going to say some things before we get ready to do the toast. So they'll be serving that very shortly. And now I will introduce Candy, and she is Tony and Louise's daughter, and she has something to say. And I'm Vicki Stevens, by the way, for those of you who don't know. I've been Mary's daughter. Oh, you know, first of all, they wanted me real quick to show you what Aunt Josie gave to the 4 couples, and it's old age pills, and it's a jar full of jelly beans. And it says constipation green, gas yellow, senility black, arthritis purple, baldness white, deafness orange, wrinkles pink, sex red. The red pills may be cut into fourths if needed. I'd like to welcome you all here. And Pat decided it would be a good idea if the eldest of each of the 4 couples said a few words, and I being the oldest and the only one here, was nominated to start off. We thought we'd do this in order of each child that was born first, my father being born first, and then Uncle Louis, Uncle Mike, and then Mary. So I will be followed by... Oh, they're going to bring serving. We're not finished yet. I haven't introduced you yet.
Here it comes.
Next, we'll have Louis, then Dale, and then Pat. But first, Aunt Josie would like to say a few words. Aunt Josie.
My nephews and my nieces I haven't seen in years.
You're all right, Quinn.
My brothers.
Hey, Josie.
I am the oldest one. The oldest of 9 children. And I only wish that certain people could be here to see all of this. I remember all these kids when they were little. And now that I'm getting older, sad. It's very sad. As I would like to continue seeing them. And I got so many little stories to tell about my brothers. But they're too many to tell. Especially Mike. Mike was the worst bit. And Mary was never called Mary. You got that wrong. She was always called La Niña. And Louis was always called me.
John.
When they were little. And I can't tell you.
The music off for now.
They come to my mind a long time before this, but today I can't think of it. But I'm happy to be here. And I got my daughter here, but I don't see very often. And my son-in-law, that great big guy. He's trying to sell me insurance. And he wants to be the one that the policy. And my son and my daughter. And this is great. I never thought. I wish there was something that I could just bring up, but I can't think of anything. That's okay. That's okay.
Mary and Uncle Ivan for organizing this. It's been so wonderful. All the time and energy spent that you two have put into this to make it possible. And I think I speak for everyone when I do truly say thank you very much. We have a small gift. Thank you very much. And I'd like to wish each and every one of the four couples a very happy 50th anniversary, and especially my parents. Thank you for your love and support, always. And at this point in time, oh, there's one more thing. I would really appreciate it if all of you would fill out the forms that I've given you so I can continue the family tree, and then I would be happy to mail any of you a copy if you would like to have one. Thank you very much.
At times like this, I wish I wasn't the oldest. Anyway, I'd like to congratulate all four couples on 50 years. It takes a lot of perseverance and ups and downs and everything to make it. You know, Uncle Mike's the only one I'm worried about. He's... Well, that Murray, I don't know. Anyway, basically, the whole thing started, I guess, when Papa came here in 1913. And 6 years later, he sent for Mama. I guess 3 children come over with Mama? 4. No, I was off by 1. Anyway, 70 years ago, 80 years ago. And from that, we've got this. From those 2 little people, we grew into this. Whether they did, they did something right. To get a family together like this, bring this many people so far and all, it was really, it takes a strong family. And I think we've got that here. And wherever Mom and Papa are, you know, you did good. That's it.
I know exactly what he means when he says he'd rather not be the oldest right now. I want to wish all of you a very happy anniversary. And to my mother and dad, I want to say that I think they're shining examples of what parents should be. They stood behind us in good and bad times and have always been there for us. And I want to wish them many more happy years. I consider them today not only my mother and father, but my good friends.
This is all building up to a toast. Boy, 4 couples, 50 years each. That's 200 years. That's quite an accomplishment. But I think the thing that I would really like to toast today is not the accomplishment, but the legacy. And I think that legacy is in this room. And it's all of these people that have gathered here, cousins, spouses, and families. And I think that legacy is more than just children, but it's the values that have been instilled in all of those children. And I know that I can't think of any cousin I have or second cousin that I'm not, that I don't really feel is a really, truly a very good human being. And I think that says a lot for these 4 couples that we're here honoring today. I'm really, really proud to be part of this group. And I guess, lastly, I would like to say on behalf of my sisters and myself, an expression of appreciation to my parents. And I was thinking earlier today what kinds of things, in terms of all of the things that your parents give you, you know, how do you say what that means to you in this kind of a toast? It's kind of hard to kind of single those things out. certainly in my father, there's a lot of qualities that I admire. I admire his adventuresome spirit and all of the things that he's undertaken and succeeded in during his life. But I think most of all, and I've talked to some other people about this too in terms of the things that I appreciate in my father. It's I think two things. One is seeing the good in people, and I think he was very, very good at trying to instill that into us, myself and my sisters, and also appreciating what honesty and integrity meant. And I personally think those are good things to try and live by. And my mother, that's what do you say? Because your mother is sort of there all the time. And my mother was such a great homemaker and was always there for whatever we need. And but I think there's something about my mother that I particularly appreciated. She was such a giving person of herself, and I know that she's always that way. If you need anything, I know that Amy was always that way. So I'm proud of being part of this family and all of the extended family. And I would like to ask everyone to join myself and the eldest and each of the four couples that we're here to honor tonight to join us in toasting these four couples and their legacy, which is all around us.
Well, is that first alcohol you ever had?
See, we have a couple other things that we wanted to do. Mom and Dad gave me a note to read, and I don't have my glasses on. I think basically what the note says is that my mom and dad, particularly my dad, spent some time carving some walking sticks out of aspens that are growing here in the Rocky Mountains. And they wanted each of my sisters to present these walking sticks to each of the other couples. Aunt Louise, Uncle Tony, Aunt Jerry, Uncle Louie, and Aunt Marie and Uncle Mike as a memento of this occasion and the celebration that we had here and the gathering of the family. So my sisters will.
Oh, gee. No, you can use it. Yeah, you need to stick. Thank you. Thanks. Oh, yeah.
They do have an antidote to that.
Aunt Marie, take that from him. He'll use it on you.
We have one other presentation that we're going to make right now.
Gary. At this time, I have a note from my mother too. Now my mother would like me to present to her wonderful sister a little memento, and it is a walking cane carved from the aspen tree bark. At this time, we're going to have everyone introduce themselves so that who you are. These are actually school chums of the couples here. Wanda and Lauren Chase. Hugh and Arlea Bradley. Omar and Louise Bell. Wally and Betty Wood. Now this time, I think we'll start with my family so that you guys can get the hang of this. And I think it'll go pretty quickly. But my parents will start. They will introduce, my mother will introduce my father and her kids, and then we will introduce our children. And then the next one will start, and they'll introduce their spouse and their children. And at that time, would you please say the year that you were married? And the date that you were married?
I'm not used to speaking in front of people. I can hear myself. Well, I was married April 23rd, Ivan and I were, 1944. 44. Ivan and I were high school sweethearts. We still are. And we have 4 very beautiful children. And 9 grandchildren, beautiful, and 1 beautiful blue-eyed great-grandchild. And Ivan and I, in our later years, we're full-timing in the motorhome and enjoying ourselves extremely, traveling all over. And we want to keep it up as long as our health holds up. And I think that's it. Well, okay, our children are Pat Miller, which talked, and his wife is Pam, but he will introduce his children. So it's Pat and Cassie. Where are you at? There's Cassie and Vicki right here and Karen right there, and they'll introduce their family.
I would like to introduce my wife, Pam, and my eldest son, Ivan, and his wife, Kimberly, and my youngest son, Ian, and his girlfriend, Jen.
I'll go next since I'm up here. Cassie can go after me. Let's see. My best friend and my lover, my husband, John, and my oldest son, Donnie, and the love of his life, Shirley, and my oldest daughter, Mary, and the love of her life, Eddie with the camera, and my youngest daughter, Lindsay, and she's not allowed to have a love of her life yet. That's it.
I'd like to introduce my daughter Autumn and her Michael. Brooks and her John and her little baby Nicholas.
I'm Karen, and my husband Mayo is back against the wall. Picture. Sarah and my daughter, where is Sarah? Sarah and Joseph back here.
Who would like to go next? Uncle Mikey? And now, the infamous Mikey Muniz. We all know about him. I think later on we'll have an open mic, and for any of those of you who would like to get up and tell maybe a most embarrassing moment or something devious that Uncle Mikey did, that would be great. I have a lot of those stories.
Thank you, Rob. You get a kick out of it?
like to thank everybody. This is... I'm choking up not because I'm sad, because I'm happy. I want to tell my sister Josie I got my gloves off and washed my hands. I want to thank Mary and Ivan for all the work they did. This is great. Unbelievable. Pat, Pam, for this display of this, all these pictures, just where won't cover. I'm just awful happy. We were married in 1944, July 12th. My wife is Marie. What else am I supposed to do? We had one sad problem in our family is one of our children couldn't come. And her husband had an uncle that passed away, and he was pallbearer the day we left. And they had an 18-year-old. I think sometimes going on 2. So he had to have supervision. But anyway, I want to introduce Dale. Of course, y'all know Dale. He was around here when we played basketball. Hugh Bradley, one of my dear lifetime friends. And he used to bounce the ball at 2 years old. People would get the ball. And they watch him dribble it. And Carol, his wife Carol. Carol. Excuse me,
He's doing it wrong.
Where's my number 2 son, Tony? Now, Tony gave us a few heartbreaking experiences, and I told Tony when he got to be 25 years old, I thought he had a chance of living. He's my number 2 son. Then we have Randy. Dandy Randy is... Stand up, Randy. Dandy Randy he never presented us with any problems. I presented him with more problems. Anyway, that's Randy and Larry. And I can't say how proud I am of all the children. And God bless everybody.
I'd like to introduce my wife Carol and my son Matthew, who's right here at the back door. You got that camera in focus?
You bet I do.
This is probably going to be the best sight you'll see tonight, so you better make the most of it.
Close up.
I'm hiding my hat right now, but if there's one thing I'm not, it's humble. I'd like to introduce my wife, Tricia. And my number 2 son, Scotty. David is in Oklahoma. He couldn't make it tonight. He's in the Air Force with his wife, Diana. So they're in Oklahoma City, or in Alice, Oklahoma. And we'll be going back to see them tomorrow. You want me to do any poses or anything for you?
We still haven't got anybody mooning.
All right, I'll relinquish my...
Thank you very much. I'm Randy. I'm the 3rd of 5. I'd like to introduce my wife of 18 years, my lovely wife Barbara. I have 3 beautiful children. I was the only one in the family that could produce a girl, so I think Mom and Daddy hold a special place for my family because of that. Cassie is in the doorway, and my youngest one is Julie. And my son Chad is in the red shirt there in the doorway.
My name is Larry. I'd like to introduce my wife, Mary Ann, son Matthew. And I'd also like to introduce my sister's son, Ryan, back there in the back.
Okay, let's see, Uncle Louie, I think you're next.
with a wonderful walking stick. I can use it. And then I want to introduce my family. My oldest, you all know, Louis. Lucy! And then I've got Phyllis, my eldest daughter. And her husband, Vinny. And then I want to introduce my youngest daughter, Karen. My grandson, Robert. Okay, and then, last of all, my son, Stephen. And his wife, Anita. And then three boy grandchildren, Matthew, Dale, and Anthony. And I was married in 1944, May 28th.
Who to? Good. Who to?
John, you want to be my friend?
My wonderful wife, who put up with me for 50 years.
You're going to have 50 left.
Genevieve.
Put me in there. Imagine that, forgetting me. My God. Hey, I'm looking for a number on anybody, somebody.
What about Uncle Louie's children? Do they feel left out? They want to come up here to introduce them? Stephen wants to say something. See?
I'd like to introduce my wife and golfing partner, Anita. My little boy, Matthew, right there. And my little boy, and Anthony, who is making a little noise in the other room. You know who he is. Speedboat. Speedboat. Is that it? That's it. No.
All right, Phyllis, how about if you get up here and introduce your... Oh, come on. She's already blubbering like a baby.
Well, my kids aren't here, but my husband is, but I think you know him as Vinny the golfer. And that's it.
Come on, you don't have it.
No. Okay, I'm Karen, and my husband couldn't make it, but my son Bob's here.
All right, now we're ready for you, Uncle Mikey. Or did we leave, I mean, did we leave anybody out? No? Shame on you, Dale.
Louis stole my act. I'm glad you talked first, Mike. Okay, first of all, thanks to everybody. And you don't know how much this means to all of us, of course. And 200 years of married life. First one I want to introduce is my lovely wife. She doesn't look any different. So this is my daughter, and I wasn't as busy as the rest of my family. They had 4 or 5 kids apiece. I just had 2. And my son couldn't break away because he was had his job to think of. See anything else? Thank you all once again.
He may have only had 2, but he had the right ones. I'd like to introduce my husband, John, of 5 years. My oldest and only son, Darren, and my youngest, small child, Haley.
Aunt Josie, I hate to make you get up here again. Do you want to get up? No? Why not?
Where's your walking stick, Aunt Josie?
I'll get up here once and wear out the shoes. I don't even want to say it.
Aunt Josie,
We got,
where's your walking stick?
oh, give me the walk. I want to introduce my children. I've only got 2. I should have had a whole lot of them. That would be so old. I've got Louis. So that Louis. He has always been called Sonny. But he don't like to be called Sonny anymore. And then I have Rosemary. Get up, sister. Next to her is my daughter-in-law, Beverly. Then my only son-in-law. Only one. Sometimes it's a pill. Get up, Trust. And that's it. Thank you.
I think Sonny and sister ought to have to get up here and tell us how many children they have and whether they're here or not.
That's it.
Come on. We all have to do it.
Not fair. Okay, we made up for Nana. I had 5. We've got 4 boys and a girl, and none of them were able to come to this get together. I wish they could, but they're not here. Sorry.
Okay, I'm not sister anymore, and I'm not Rosemary, I'm Rose. When I got married, I lost the Marie.
Say Rosemary.
Y'all know Troyce because he wants to be Mother's beneficiary. If he can ever get her to sign positive. I had 5 kids like Louis. He had 4 boys, 1 girl. I had 4 girls, 1 boy. I didn't ask mine to come. I didn't want to hear all her stuff. They all live around me. I got away from them.
At this time, I would like to ask any of the, I don't know if we'll call you in-laws or what? My father, or Aunt Marie, or Aunt Louise, or Aunt Sherry, if any of you would like to get up and say anything at this time, now's your chance.
Okay, that's enough. Sit down.
Well, who said that? You're on my list.
I was always going to put them on my list. They didn't behave. And they thought I had a list. And boy, they died to see it, and I know it lied. And they do something wrong, boy, I'd get it out and write on it. And they just like proof. They're not sure they're getting on my bad list. I never did have a list. I ain't saying much for their intelligence. They were all pretty young at that time. And I just want to express very nice thanks, or maybe I should express my thanks. All you folks that came so far to be here with us today to celebrate. And I think it's terrific. The fact is, when we started getting this together, I said, I don't know whether if I was that far away, whether I could make it. But it's great that everybody got out here and got together and just see what a fine group of people we have in our family. There's only one family that'll beat this Eunice family, and that's the Miller.
No, thank you, everybody. Come on, Jerry. Get out of here. Come on, Jerry. No. Thanks, everybody. Come on, get lost. Go. Go, Louise. Bottle, go. Mary and I, and that was my place. I just want you to hear my gravity voice. The reason I'm doing this. But I want to thank Mary and Ivan and everybody, and it was so nice to meet so many people that I've heard about for years and years. And my twin sister over here, Jerry, wouldn't come up here with me. But I'm sure she feels the same. Thank you, and it's been great. Yes, thank you.
We have some music to play. I think we might try to move the table.
I think thing really
When we were younger, growing up, Louis, Ivan, Mike, Omar, we were a bunch of henchmen. But I'd like to tell maybe a couple of things about Mike. First, Ivan just as bad. One time we had gone up to the drugstore, and I didn't really know why we were going to go in the drugstore up in Alameda and Federal. Mike went in, and he was so interested in this flashlight. And he kept quizzing the salesperson about the flashlight. Finally, we were talking about price and so forth, and with the battery and without a battery, and it didn't make any difference whether the battery would be included or not. But suddenly, Mike, all of a sudden, and it really took the salesperson aback. He said, "Jesse, lay that gun down." He wasn't really interested in buying it. I think he was just. Another time we were riding down the middle of Broadway. I don't know. Ivan might have been. Mike was driving the car, and you know, at that time we had streetcars and the rail right along the middle of the street. And obviously, you know, the streetcar can't get off the rail, but we were riding immediately in front of the streetcar, and Mike deliberately slowed down to maybe 2 miles an hour. Dong, 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 the guy behind you. So Mike put his hand out and come on around.
We talked earlier about maybe having little most embarrassing moment stories. And
I'll get you for that.
this gentleman over here is my father-in-law, and he's just like mom and dad. We farmed together, and little Ivan back there, and Donnie and I and Papa all went out to the country one day, and the greatest thing on earth ever happened. Papa thought he had a leak in his gas tank because it just filled up, and his gas tank was down about a half a tank. Well, when you're in the country, you don't look for a place to relieve yourself, you just kind of do. And he had previously relieved himself. And afterwards, we got talking about that gas tank, and he had backed away from where he had relieved himself. And I noticed there's a wet spot on the ground. And little Ivan and Donnie and I were standing on the concrete, and Papa, he got down on his hands and knees over that wet spot. And he said, "It doesn't smell like gas." And Ivan and Donnie were covered with dirt because they were rolling around laughing. I pointed out to him that that's where he had relieved himself. And I guess I owe one to Uncle Mike too, because my son used to go to the Pueblo Mall when we lived here in Colorado, and he ran around with a buddy, and that buddy of his, the two of them got together, and they walked over next to an elderly couple that were standing window shopping. I don't know where he got this idea, but he expelled a little gas, and then he walked away and stood back and watched, and about 2 or 3 minutes later, the elderly lady took her elbow her husband. He said, "That wasn't me." Well, I'm not sure, but I think that had something to do with the story that we heard about Mike and a gentleman reading a newspaper. And I guess I'd encourage anybody else that knows of, a tattle and tale, to tell on any one of them to step up.
Now we have the very lovely Pam Miller.
Plenty of darn, but it really comes from the heart. Mimo and Papa have been parents to me. My father died when I was 16, and my mother was an alcoholic. And when I became pregnant with Ivan, they just took me to the family. They took Ivan into the family, and they just gave us all the love that they could possibly give us. And I have to say, I really appreciate all the love that you have given me over these years. It's been really great. And I'm very fortunate to be in this family. Thank you all.